Gautam. Gautam.
Yes, ma'am. We can start now. Anisha, you can go on.
Yes. Good evening to one and all, and a very warm welcome to one. Uh, good and a very warm welcome to everyone present. Today, myself Anisha Prabhu.
And I, Joshua Raj, are here to be your host and your host for our event, for our first beloved project presentation. So, officially welcoming you all to the Transmissions 2020's project presentation. Now, let's introduce our encouraging sponsors for the event: Geeks for Geeks, MITI, the two NGOs, Bombay Indigenous Peoples Association, and Garbage Concern Welfare Society. The video, bro.
So it's fantastic watching and getting to know about our sponsors. But for now, we need to know about who will be judging these astonishing projects of our participants.
So, for this amazing event, we have such talented and knowledgeable judges. So, starting with Professor Tina Verma, Assistant Professor, Department of Comms in XI since 2007.
And next we have Professor Kirti Motwani ma'am. She is the assistant professor in Department of Comms and is in XI from 2012. Ma'am has already published various papers also.
So, for the last, we have Mr. Abhishek Sharma working at eClerks as a senior analyst. He is an IT graduate from XI in 2021.
That was amazing to know about our judges. So let's move on to understanding how we proceed for the event. For that, I call upon Shubham for the to explain the rules to you guys.
Okay, so the rules for the events are: each team will get 5 to 7 minutes to demonstrate their project, followed by a questionnaire session from the jury. If the time limit exceeds, then the jury has full rights to cut the points. Every team should make a presentation consisting of components, diagrams, languages, topics chosen, problem statement, and proposed solution. Topics from any domain are allowed. Any extra work like papers published, reports could be displayed to the panel. The judgment of the panel is unquestionable. While presenting the project, the cameras of all team members must be on. Thank you.
So, since we're done with the rules, without further hold up, let's start with the presentations. So, first we have the first group that is gonna present is going to be the topic is going to be Book to Trees app development.
Yeah. So actually, few of my group members are not available, so I'll be presenting alone.
All right.
Give me. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
So, hi, a very good evening to all the judges and all the participants. Myself, Monica Anabatula, along with my group members, Mia, Suzanne, and Justin D'Souza, who were not able to come today, are going to present the application Book to Trees. So, this is an Android application student-friendly books app with quality content. So in next few minutes, I'm going to cover these topics: the problem statement, technologies used, some features, and how the piracy problems are solved, and the future work to add in this project. Yeah. So starting with the introduction and the problem statement. So as we all know that students nowadays use ebooks because in this pandemic hard copies were not available. So this tragic change from offline studies to online studies have changed a lot of things. But most important, the students' perspective to study from these books. So most of the students in higher class like engineering rely on self-studies, and in pandemic, due to non-availability of offline books and also soft copies, sharing has been increased, and due to this, piracy has been increased. So due to this, publisher sales were decreasing, and also now publishers are facing issues with piracy. And since education always needs to be delivered at lowest possible price, so we came up with this application, the name Book to Teach. In this application, the content, books, and notes will be free to students, and the earning model is by using advertisements. So publications and different publishers can upload their books here. So students can see students must have to see the minimal ads, and the publications will also get the revenue from this. So customized ads according to the student's location is enabled here. And with this, now by connecting to every student's direct selling of direct providing books is possible. So moving to the next slide, the piracy is stopped by online books availability. That is, we have restricted downloading and also implemented watermarks, as you could see here on the screen. And also screenshots and screen sharing is restricted. So by any malpractices or any way, the books couldn't be shared, but it could be freely available for students to read. So moving to the next slide, technologies that we have used is the front-end and back-end language for this Android app development is the Java, and the IDE we used is Android Studio. For database and user authentication, Google Firestore we have used, and I've also implemented the same app using the Azure. But right now my Azure credits are expired, so if judges want, I can show the video for cloud database, but I'll be showing live demonstration for using the Firestore database. So moving towards the next slide, that is the features. So there are some features like ad services on location based with local ads. So we have not used Google AdMob here. We have implemented ads on ourselves by taking the pin code from the user, and to make local vendors also publish that if there are any schemes or make their advertisements on this app. And also along with ads, we want students to read the books with minimal ads. So we have provided a facility of 1 hour ads. That is, a student must have to see one ad per hour. So no other ads will be played during this hour. And then after 1 hour pre-reading, the next ad will be shown. So moving towards the next slide, that is the future work. We have thought to add students corner to solve their doubts, and also they can upload their notes so that other students can avail these benefits. Like our seniors can also upload their notes, and we can enjoy study with them. So that's it. Thank you. Next, I'll be showing you the live demonstration of the app. So guys, is my screen visible? Can someone acknowledge?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so this is the app. So first I'll insert my mobile number for registration purpose, and an OTP will come and it will directly be inserted. if the SIM card is in your mobile, the same SIM card if I'm using, and if it is not, the user have to enter that OTP. Maybe my net issue. So this is implemented. This requires net issue. So since I'm sharing it, maybe due to net issue, it is delayed. Just a second. I don't know why. Now it came. Yeah, so it is verified successfully now. It was happening due to my net issue. Sorry for the delay. Yeah, so now I'll enter my registration details. That is my name, college name, college ID, then email ID. Then we have to select a PIN code. After selecting it, yeah. So as you could see, this is my app. Yeah. So all the latest books are appeared in this corner, and all the last recently viewed book by the student is appeared in the lower corner. But since I have registered as a new user, it won't be visible now. So under the book section, we have categorized it based on the department or different departments. Imagine I click on chemical engineer, and now it is segregated basis on based of years. So after clicking on 4th year, yeah. So these are all the books. Like so far, I have implemented sample books here. So we can even add two favorites or remove to it, remove from it. So yeah, as you could read here, book will be visible after that. So this book will be unlocked for next 1 hour after seeing the ad. For time being, I have just kept a small video as an ad. And yes, I guess now you can't see the, yeah. Yeah, so you could see the book because to show the book to the judges, I have disabled the screen sharing option. If you want, I can even enable it and run again, but it would consume time. That's why I have kept it short. And at the right top corner, as you could see, that the next ad will be in 59 minutes, and all the watermarks are present. That is, my details and phone number are present on the screen. So this is how it is. And second, yeah, so if I click on other book, the other ad will be played. And even this book will be unlocked for next 1 hour. So this is a new book, and all the books that I have seen here will appear on this dashboard down corner. So as you could see, we have viewed these books. And the next feature is that my profile, we can update a PIN code, and if I want to change any of my details, I can update it from here. The favorite sections that I have recently added books to my favorite. and then the settings. Yeah, so this is all the app is about.
Monica,
Yes, ma'am.
very nice. I can see you have done a lot of work on this app. I wanted to know, you mentioned Azure platform, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So have you paid for it to
Ma'am,
access the database?
actually using student developer pack that is provided by our college from GitHub student developer pack. I got 100 credits, so I've implemented it over there. But since my credits are expired, those services have stopped now.
So you are not able to access those right now.
Yeah, but I have shooted a video. If you want, I can show it.
No, no, okay. I just wanted to know that. Fine.
Yeah. Actually,
Fine.
I've used SQL database for it, but since its cost is high, within 1 month the services were stopped.
So if you have to implement, how much you have to pay?
So actually, time being, actually I advise means if I'll implement, I'll switch from SQL database to other database like MongoDB or Cosmos. Since the SQL database pricing is high, but usually it would cost for around $50 per month if not using SQL, because SQL itself takes around $75 per month.
Okay.
Which cloud services are you using, Monica?
Ma'am, SQL database for the database thing. Second, for authentication, I'm using that cloud B2C registration Azure from the Azure, and I've even implemented chatbot on Azure. So for that, the conversational AI bot from Azure.
What are you using chatbot for basically?
So just the normal FAQs like how we have for e-commerce section, the for a customer service chatbot. So the sample implementation have done that.
Okay. And how are you fetching these ads? Basically, like when you were playing, there were ads being played in the background.
Yes. So actually, I have segregated it according to the pin code under documents in Firestore. So under each pin code, I have inserted some ads in the database. So from database, it is fetching and showing.
Okay, so these are the ads which you have downloaded and you have put it in the database, right?
Yes.
It's randomly from the internet using some service or something.
No, not randomly. I put it in the database.
Okay.
Like we can even provide the link to directly play it. But since ads would be customized, so that's why I have put them in the database, and from that database it is live streaming online.
So all this you have put in Azure.
No. Right now I'm showing in a Firestore, but since Azure has stopped, that's why I couldn't implement it there.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you.
Monica, I like your idea. So where are you fetching this PDF from?
From
For the book?
Firestore.
Okay, so for the Firestore only. So even after the Azure is started, you are thinking to do the same?
No. If Azure is started, I'll do from there.
Okay, so your priority is Azure, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great. And I had one more question that you told about the ads, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, if a student is studying for if a student starts studying, he usually studies for 2-3 hours, right?
Yeah.
So, is there any option? Because while studying, if I know the time span is 1 hour, still after 1 hour, if it's showing some ads, so it would get the student could get distracted, right? So, you could also provide an alternative of a subscription or something like that. So, have you thought about that?
Yeah, I will implement it in future.
Yes, because the ad feature wouldn't generate much of the revenue. The premium one would, I guess, in my opinion.
Yes. Sure. We'll implement that also.
Yes. By the way, your idea was great. The topic name was Books to Trees, right?
Yeah.
So, what does it define? Is there any significance about the
So by using the online books, by that.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Thank you, Monica, for such a great demonstration. And I guess we students will be able to use this app sometime in the future. So, coming to the next project, the topic to be presented is embedded e-bike with energy generating system. The team members can start presenting.
Hello, my voice is clear.
Yes.
Good evening, respected judges. Our project topic is embedded e-bike with energy generating system. We all know that the price of crude oil is increasing more and more, and there seems to be no turning back. So, our main motive in implementing this project is to offer a low cost and with many features, useful features like GPS tracking and energy generating system. This is the block diagram of my project. In this block diagram, we can see the lead acid battery is connected to the controller. The controller is connected to the DC motor, and the DC motor is 24 volt. The DC motor is connected to the back wheel of cycle. The DC motor is connected to the back wheel of cycle, and here we can use a normal e-bike. The lead acid battery is also going to the inverter, and the inverter will convert DC voltage into an AC voltage, and at the output of the inverter we can use the AC voltage, and that will be useful for rural areas. And the pedal, while we are pedaling, this is the pedal. While we are pedaling the cycle will having a double stand. While riding and while sitting, the person can exercise and pedal the cycle. And while pedaling the cycle, the alternator / dynamo will generate the some amount of DC voltage, and that DC voltage is given to the lead acid battery. And the lead acid battery will get charged over here. So this is the concept of energy generating system. This is the block diagram. Here, the Arduino Nano is connected to the RFID tag, and the RFID tag is given to the bike starter. So with the help of the RFID, we are going to start the e-bike, and it is for the security purpose. Now we are using the features like GPS tracking system. On the GPS tracking system, we are displaying a latitude, longitude, and speed that with the help of the Node MCU, and that will be given to the website. Over to you, Bhavesh.
So in this project, we are using various modern tools. So for the software part, we are using for the bike starting, we are using RFID tag, and then for the website part, we are using Node MCU, which is basically communicating with Neo 6M, the sensor for getting the GPS data, and then we are using React.js, Firebase, and Heroku to basically create our website. Next slide. So here are the results of the project. So on the left hand side, this is the basic this is the design which we have created by our own self. This is the the chucknut design. This helps us to basically ride the normal bicycle also, and if you want to use the e-bike part, we can also use by using this design. So once the user uses the e-bike, the motor starts and the pedal does not move, so that user does not get hurt. And so we can use in both ways. Now on the right hand side, we have a GPS tracking system. Here we can see the antenna of the Neo 6M sensor. And on the right hand side, there's a small display for user to track their speed and the current time. Also, the GPS data is going to the website from the Node MCU. And at bottom, we have the RFID tag for bike starting. Next slide. So this is the picture of our bike, basically e-bike. So there's the battery connected, the motor of the e-bike, and also there's the chuck nut connection in the wheel side. Next slide. So this is the basic storage of the latitude and longitude in our Firebase database. This is getting real-time updated whenever the sensor gets started. Next slide. So this is the live testing while for the speed on the OLED display. So while testing the speed, whether we are getting the correct speed from the sensor, we have basically tested it on a scooty so that we can check from the indicator of the scooty our current speed. So yeah, next slide. So this is the website demo. So here we have basically showed a live change in the latitude and longitude while testing. So once the latitude and longitude of the user gets changed, it can be showed in the map at live. And also the map we are using currently is open source, that is leaflet.js. Play the video, Neville. So yeah, here we can see currently the marker. So once the user click on the marker, or anybody who clicks on the marker can see the current location of the user, for which we are using an API to reverse geocode the location of the user from the latitude and longitude we get from the sensor. So in the video, we can see that the indicator will move once the data gets changed. Wait, Neville, wait. Let it move ahead. Just take the video ahead for a bit. From 116. Are you able to do that?
No.
Just let it play then. Why is it playing? What happened, Neville?
Net problem, I think.
So okay, I'll just explain the
Yeah, you
website.
can
The
start from
website. Neville just mute it, fine. So this is currently the output of the bike. So here Neville is testing the bike using the starter. Now currently we are using a manual starter for testing, and there we can see the tire moving of the bike in a minute. So here just the tire is moving. Next slide. This is also the testing of the bike with a user driving on it. Next slide. Thank you.
Judges, you can ask questions now.
How are you going to use that energy? You said it's an energy generating, right?
Ma'am, it is an energy generating system with the help of, there are two concepts over there. With the help of alternator or slash dynamo will be generating. While when we are pedaling the cycle, so the alternator or dynamo will run and it will produce some amount of DC voltage because the DC motor will produce back EMF. So it will be given to the lead acid battery. This was the one concept, and the another concept was that we are using an inverter over there. With the help of the inverter, we are going to produce DC to AC energy. Power inverter will be going to use over there, and with the help of inverter, we can use the AC load, so which will be helpful for the rural areas to generate electricity whenever they can take the cycle and they can generate the electricity like that.
Okay.
To how much
What is
energy will be generated?
Yes, ma'am, I didn't get you.
To how much capacity energy will be generated?
Ma'am, actually, the first concept with the help of alternator slash dynamo, that depends on the rider. If he's riding like a exercising bike, if he's riding with the exercising bike, so he can generate a good amount of energy. Like the motor is 24 volt, 180 watts, so he can generate around 20 volts of energy.
20 volt is what you are saying, right?
Yeah, 20 voltage. we can generate, and that can be given to the lead acid battery. And the another concept, which is the power inverter, which I mentioned over there, that is depend on the, again on the user. If he's buying an inverter from the market, like power inverters, which are readily made from the Chinas, so that depends on the wattage, like 100 watt, 200 watt, or 1000 watt. So if he is putting a 1000 watt inverter also, so he can get a good amount of voltage, the energy from there.
How do you check whether the energy is generated and you have utilized it somewhere?
Yes, ma'am. The current testing is going on that energy generating system. We have used the friction drive method, like the motor or alternator will connect it at the back cycle, like with the tire attachment. Like nowadays, friction drive method are in highly demand. So the friction drive method will generate the energy while when we are pedaling. The testing is going on, and we have currently, with the help of the multimeter, we have currently measured the voltage. It was around 16 to 18 volts. So it's like depends on the pedaling.
Okay.
Okay, Neville. So I had a few questions. So any normal cycle could be converted into this e-bike, an energy generating bike?
Yes, definitely. The concept was that only that common people or normal people who have having a cycle, only a cycle, so it can be converted to an e-bike. And the concept is very easy to convert into an electric cycle, and with the help of energy generating also.
Okay. What would be the approximate weight?
The approximate weight, now the approximate we have not actually calculated, because we have added a motor and all.
Yes,
so it will be around 50 kg something.
Okay. So that would be an added, weight for a person, right, in the cycle.
Not actually, but because we have added if you have seen the picture, that we have added the double stand, so the person can sit and exercise also, and while exercising he can he can generate the energy also.
Okay.
So yeah, it won't much affect, because the normal cycle weight is also heavy, and the people carry their cycle anywhere also.
Okay.
And we have added the 2-in-1 concept also. If the technical failure comes anyhow, means like, so the person can ride the normal cycle also. That was the 2-in-1 concept with the help of the chuck nut, and that we have tested successfully, and that it was working.
Okay, that's good. What would be approximate cost?
The approximate cost was around 8,000.
Okay, so it includes the battery and everything.
Yes.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, that was an interesting project you have, Neville. So I hope you convert more cycles into e-bikes. So the next project which is going to be presented is the surveillance car. The third group you may present.
Yes. So our project is a surveillance car, which is made by me, Aditya Vaitsod, Rahul Vijan, and Abhishek Singh. So the objectives for making this car are as follows. We first interface and control the motors using the ESP32 camera module. It's a module which is basically like you can connect it to a Wi-Fi. And we interface and control the motors using ESP32 on local as well as global web servers. Global means basically that we have global control, like they don't need to be in the same network itself. And then we interface the GPS module and the sensors, ultrasonic sensors. Then we set up ESP32 to work with portable hotspot. And we also interfaced ESP8266 Node MCU to Arduino IoT, and we made the hardware for this project. So this idea mainly came because during the lockdown we could see that everything was becoming contactless and wireless. So we needed to make something on that similar lines. This project is basically mainly focused on wireless communication, so we can control this car through the internet, and this car has global control. we have used cloud in this. So the surveillance car is a car which can be controlled locally as well as globally, and which can be tracked using GPS. And we can see the camera feed through the camera mounted on the car. So hardware and software requirements include the Wi-Fi module, which is the ESP32 CAM, the STM32 Blue Pill, which is the heart which controls all the sensors and all the serial communications. We have the Node MCU, which connects us to the Arduino IoT cloud platform. Then we have the motor driver to drive the 4 motors. We have an ultrasonic sensor at the back of the car to get the values of any object which would be closer to the car. And we have the Neo 6M GPS module. The software requirements include the Arduino IDE, which we have used for programming nearly all of the main hearts of this system. So mainly the STM32 microcontroller, Node MCU, and the ESP32 camera module. And we have used cloud platforms like Arduino IoT for controlling the car, and Microsoft Azure we have used for to get the camera feed from the ESP32 CAM module. So this is the block diagram. So we have 2 to 3 floors on the car. So at the bottom floor, we have connected the L298 motor driver, which is connected to the 4 motors, as you can see. Then comes the upper layers. So this system is basically distributed in the second layer and the third layer of the car. You will see it in the implementation. So here is the ultrasonic sensor at the left. You can see it is giving out the waves, so which we can see how long the distance, how long is an object near to the car, behind the car. Then we have the STM32 microcontroller, which is controlling the ultrasonic sensor and the GPS. And then we have the Node MCU, which we connect to the STM32 as well as the servo motor. We have used the servo motor to basically get an inclination on the camera so we can look up and down. And the ESP32 camera module would be mounted on the servo motor. So we can see the implementation here. So as you can see, the left hand side is the front where we have attached the servo motor and the ESP32 camera module. So right here is this is the servo motor. This is the ESP32 camera module, and this is the Node MCU, which is used to connect us to the Arduino IoT cloud platform. This is the GPS sensor. This is the ultrasonic sensor. So now the advantages of this car. So this car comes with a lot of advantages. First, we have global connectivity because we are using cloud platforms. We can control and access the data globally. We don't need to be in the same network as of the car. Then we have real-time tracking. We get the location and the GPS ultrasonic values and the camera feed. Then we can stream. We can have a live stream on the web server, and multiple people can connect to the web server and view the live stream. Coming to the disadvantages, because of using cloud platforms, there is a 0.5 to 1 second latency. So it becomes a little difficult to control it in situations where immediate action is required. And this car will work only where the SIM network is available, because we have used a Geo hotspot to connect this car. So if we don't have a SIM network there, then we cannot use it there. So this in applications, this car has military applications. We can use it in militaries where people cannot go. So for example, right now you can see that you can send it into Ukraine and Russia battle border. And then we can increase the range and we can control the car from anywhere in the world. And this is a great, what you can say, an alternative of CCTV cameras, because the CCTV cameras nowadays come in like 10,000 to 11,000 rupees, and this car is much economical than what we get in the cameras. And the CCTV cameras only will be watching certain areas of the room, whereas you can control this car to go anywhere in a room, for example. So these were the references. And now we will be watching the recording of the car. Just let me know if this is audible. Was that audible?
No, Aditya. It is not audible.
Oh, okay, fine. Let me share the tab only. Is it audible? The surveillance.
Yes, Aditya, it is audible.
Okay, fine. Car. And this is the software which we have used, Arduino IoT Cloud. On the Arduino IoT Cloud, we have made buttons and sliders for the on the dashboard. And at the center you can see the LED of the ESP32 cam module, and these are the forward, left and right hand buttons. Then these are the ultrasonic sensors values. The 32 this indicates in centimeters, and this is the GPS location, and this is the motor speed, and this is the servo angle. And this on the left hand side is the camera stream. So explaining on this hardware model, we have the servo motor at the front, on which the ESP32 cam module is mounted. Then we have the STM32, which is controlling all the sensors. Then we have the ESP8266 node MCU, which is connected to the Arduino IoT Cloud, and it is the ultrasonic sensor which is giving the values, and this is all connected with the hotspot, geo hotspot. We can control this on any network because it is cloud based. So for a demo, when we start the switch, so the flashlight has started. This flash is nothing but an inbuilt LED on the ESP32 cam module, and as you can see on that stream also you can see. Then can you do forward please? Forward. So the car moves forward, and do reverse. If it does reverse, then it goes reverse. Then left. So it moves left and right. It moves right, and you can see the camera is also moving because it's mounted on the case. And we can also increase or decrease the motor speed and the servo angle. So here we have increased the speed, and we are making the forward. It is very fast, it is too fast. And now change the servo angle please. If we change the servo angle, we can see the servo face above, the camera faced above, and you can see Abhishek's face there. So this is the project. So this was the project. Any doubts?
What is the range of your movement of the car?
The range, actually what we did was, because of the latency, what happened was when we were tapping the buttons, it was at that moment when we were testing, it was wired, so we couldn't just let go of the
Ma'am,
car.
right
So
now I have
that's
attached
why-
batteries to it, so there isn't any wired range right now.
So you need to work on the remote control side of it.
yes,
should work
only
on remote control and
it works on remote control. You can control it anywhere from the world because it is a cloud based. But while testing only, what we did was we needed a greater power supply, and we didn't have the battery at that time. Now we have a battery, so basically you can control it from anywhere.
okay.
How much
What-
time?
Role of cloud.
I'm sorry.
Can you please repeat?
You said you're using cloud service, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So exactly what are you using cloud service? I mean, which service are you using and for what purpose?
Okay, ma'am. Starting with, for the web stream, we are hosting the web stream on a virtual machine instance from Azure. So actually, the ESP32 CAM is sending the web stream towards to the remote server, and from there we are accessing it through the internet. And a drawback with the Expressys module was that in the inbuilt library, the stream is only accessible for one single person. So we actually had to use a remote server and we actually wrote a code so multiple clients can join and view the stream. And for the control part, we used Arduino IoT Cloud. So as you see the screen, so the left part is the webcam and the right part is the control part. So left part is from Azure and the right part is from Arduino IoT Cloud. We actually wanted to only use one cloud platform, but since Arduino does not give a video widget, so we actually had to use Azure.
Okay.
Now that you have got the batteries and everything, what is the expected range and time, like how much it would work?
You mean battery life, or
Yeah, battery life for like 2 hours it would work, or if it is moving, then it is only 1 hour. In that way. Did you got any idea? Okay, the batteries actually are 3.3 volt batteries, which we have combined to get a 12 volt battery to drive the motor driver, and each battery has a capacity of about 2200 mAh. Okay. So depending upon the usage, that is, actually the thing is that we are running a while loop, so energy will be consumed anyhow. And because this is actually a security system, so we cannot actually use sleepers and timers on this. Yes. So it would be just used for a short span of time, right? Only for the course of action.
Yes, but after some modifications in the code, like we can make it not run for the whole time. It may it will stop its battery usage whenever it is not in use. So we can do that. This was just a basic prototype of what the car would be like. Given the budget and everything, we can make this good for commercial use using all these standards.
And obviously give it a better casing. So it looks good also. Because if you are thinking to use it in the military, or in a scenario with a terrain which is not suitable for normal people, then it must be protected a while, because your you have many sensors and everything which are fragile, right? The connection. So you could also provide an alternative, like you can provide a battery version also and a wired version also, because if the range is only 1 kilometer, the task. Actually, right now there are 2 versions only. So as you saw in the video, it has the wired version. So that extension for putting a wire, that's still on the car. Okay, so that option is still there, right? Like you haven't eliminated it, right? Yes.
Yeah, we have not eliminated it.
That's it.
Any further questions?
None from my side. Thank you.
No.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you. That was an interesting project. So now we have the pneumonia detection using deep learning project coming up. The team can start presenting.
Yeah, ma'am, I'll see screen share. Krishna, you are there?
Yes,
Okay,
Prathamesh.
yeah. I'll share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So good evening, everyone. I am Prathamesh Zavre, and along with Krishna More. So we during our SEM 4, we were very new to machine learning and deep learning. So during that time, we had implemented this project, pneumonia detection web app. So coming to the problem statement, so nowadays, during SEM 4, I guess COVID was on a peak, and it was very like infuriating time for us. So pneumonia is a very serious cause of irrefutable deaths in patients all over the age groups. So we wanted to develop something which would help us in preventing loss of lives as much as possible, because at that time COVID was related to pneumonia also. Because if it was COVID alongside with pneumonia, it was very fatal. It was very fatal. So here in India, still is still a developing nations, and as we know, everywhere there is not everywhere doctors are not really available. The availability of the radiologists is not very possible for every to cover whole borders of India. So we came up with the effective solution in the form of web app. So this web app detects the presence of pneumonia with a higher accuracy than the previous models. So our goal is to eradicate and delay the obstacles while medical treatment is going on, and make the treatments at like minimum casualties. What happens generally is human error can happen. From the doctor's naked eye, we cannot directly detect pneumonia. So this web app is actually very high. The accuracy of this web app is actually very high, which alongside, if we can use it in the rural areas wherever only doctors are not available, but laptops and internet facilities available. So we can use it there. These were the hardware and software requirements for our project. So regarding this, we also wrote a research paper on this, and it was published in IEEE Explore page. So I'll show you that. So this was our paper, in which we had described what models we had used. We had taken the dataset from the Kaggle, where various datasets, as competitions are also held, and this is the major source of datasets which we can find, and very reliable source. So we had used the Kaggle that time, and this was our paper. Where we had described what our model works, which types of models we had implemented to get the very highest accuracy, and whatever the inferences we got from these models, we had shown there. So so I will just demonstrate you how the web app actually works. So we first implemented all the models, trained and tested all the data sets, and then since that was fine, then we created a simple HTML UI, where you are supposed to upload the pneumonia or normal images, which it will show you is it positive or negative. So This was our web app, and we deployed it on the Heroku platform, which is a free hosting service, which actually let us deploy this web app. So as you can see, we can choose file, and here Pneumonia 1 I downloaded just now. So I'll just open it. I'll click on analyze, and yeah, it is showing me again that it is positive, and I'll again put the normal data set. If I click analyze, it shows negative. So basically it detects with a higher accuracy, and this was our project. Further will be explained to you by Krishna. Over to you, Krishna.
Hello. So in this project, basically we used Keras and TensorFlow libraries, which helped us to pre-train these models. And there are various libraries which helped us. We could even see that the data set was highly imbalanced. So we had to balance the data set by adding the images, and we had done data augmentation as well, so that the model is trained on various different images. And we even did hyperparameter tuning on the model to find the best model performance out of it. So we implemented this. We used Flask API to make a web app, and we deployed it on Heroku platform, which is a free open source platform. And this is what we have done in this project.
Any questions, judges?
The concept was great, guys. Have you tested the accuracy of it? What's that?
Yes, we have tested the accuracy.
Okay, so what is it? Like,
we got 97% accuracy.
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the test base? Like, how many test cases have you done on it?
We actually split the data into train and test to check whether the model is overfitting or underfitting.
Yes.
And the model was perfect. It was not even overfitting, not even underfitting, and it was able to predict on the new data set as well. So it was working good. It was giving us very good accuracy. But the only drawback that we were facing was that it was only lateral image. And that also we have mentioned in the paper, that now lateral images are not important, because even the sectional image is also very important of the X-ray to detect. And there are not all the not only the X-ray is the thing that will eventually result in detection of pneumonia. There are other factors too that we can add and train the model with, but that data set is not available outside right now.
Yeah, I get it. So right now you are only focusing on a specific scan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
We worked on the accuracy, and we implemented different models. We would fine tune different models. So to check that was even a research work to find how the model model performs on the data set, and to even study the architecture of different models, because every model pre-trained model is having a different architecture. So we did study on that as well. So that was our work we did.
Okay, that's good.
We implemented the models from scratch.
Which architecture you find best?
Ma'am, VGG 19.
Yeah, ma'am.
VGG?
We tried many, like VGG 16, Exception, ResNet, and VGG 19. So VGG 19 was giving highest accuracy.
And what about other architecture? You were getting accuracy? How much accuracy you were getting?
We can show the result.
Yeah. I'll display, ma'am. Just a minute. I'll screen.
Also,
we evaluated on the
which
basis
algorithm you used? Which is the best that you found?
VGG 19.
Algorithm?
Yes, VGG 19 was the best.
That is an architecture, right?
Yes, the model, it's a convolution model, ma'am, at the end.
Yeah, CNN you are using, right?
Yeah.
Ma'am, so this was the accuracy and loss percentage.
Okay.
And we even used other metrics to check, like the confusion matrix, Rokov curve, which are used to check the classification models.
Yeah.
So scroll down.
Yeah.
We calculated the R2 precision, or not R2 precision score, and other scores as well, the model.
Okay.
Any more questions, ma'am?
That's it. That's it. No.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so that was an exciting project you all worked on, and I hope it gets hired by some healthcare facility or something pretty soon. So the next project that we're gonna see is about digital MBA. Let's have it here, guys.
Hello, I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, sorry. Is my screen visible? Hello.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Myself, Ajit Chena, and I'm presenting the project Digital MBA. So the first question, some of may know what is NBA and some of don't know. So who don't know, NBA is a National Board of Accreditation, was established to assess the qualitative competence of the program offered by education institution from diploma to postgraduate level in engineering and technology and some other educational field. So there are 10 criteria which follow NBA, but we are just focusing on the NBA criteria 3, which is fully based on attainments of COs and POs. So COs means sports outcome and POs means program outcomes. So basically in criteria 3, we have to just generate attainments on based on the COPO mapping. So a problem, my project problem statement is as we know, focusing on we are now focusing on NBA criteria 3. NBA criteria 3 requires complicated calculations and take immense amount of time and effort. It also requires maintenance of data, due to which there might be some human error in calculating the data, and also faculties have to invest more working hours not only to maintain the data but also to calculate and provide the precise output. An error in calculation can take too much of time to identify and rectify the error. Coordinator have to ask faculties to send the subject data, and after accumulation of all the data, coordinator requires significant amount of time to examine the data. In short, the overall process requires a lot of manual labor, hence there was a need of system to automate the process. So we have designed a website which automates the fully NBA criteria 3, and in the front end we have used HTML, CSS, React, Bootstrap, and for scripting jQuery, Ajax, and for backend we have used PHP, MySQL. In database we have used localhost, XAMPP, and for software XAMPP, VS Code, and Writings. So let's go to the demonstration part. Let me give my whole screen. Okay, my screen is visible.
Yes.
So this is the first home page. So over here there are 4 modules: admin, faculty, student, and HOD. First I will show you the admin part. So in admin part, basically admin part has all the rights to add students, teachers and subjects, and assign teachers to class. And basically it's just add all the data. Okay, so he can manually add one teacher, or he can directly import the teacher by just importing the Excel. Same with student, same goes to student and HOD too. So adding here is the adding subject. He or she can directly add subject by selecting the selected department. And over here he or she can directly assign class to teachers. And over here afterwards, if there are department addition or some academic year addition, so over here there's a section he or she can add. So moving to next part, which is the main part, which is faculty. Okay, so this is the admin teacher dashboard. So over here, the main COPO mapping. The first, after assigning a subject, the first teacher has to do a COPO mapping, which is the section is given over here. So I will select the year. I will select the class. And after that, I have filled all the data of advanced data structure. So I will just show you. So first, so mapping of subjects, COPO mapping. So teacher have to manually map the COs, POs over here, and all the calculation is done automatically. And the data is there because I have filled it. When the first teacher comes, he or she has to fill the COPO mapping. So after that, teacher have to add UT marks. Yeah. So okay. So before entering the UT marks, teacher has to map the COs with the selected question number. Okay, so I have already filled it. If teacher has not filled now, so there will be a pop-up box and it will redirect to a new page where teacher can directly map COs with the question number. Okay, so afterwards the teacher has to add marks of particular all students, and if he is absent or he or she is absent, so directly there's a checkbox over here. Okay, so the calculation is that it's in question number 1 there are 6 sub questions. So over here any 4 is there. So after adding the marks now, so the algorithm will directly get the 4 max, and it will add, and from here max 3. So it will not exceed above 20. So there will be no miscalculation over here. And the concept over here. So in the attainment part, the main part is that number of students who have attended the question, counter who have scored greater than 60%, and percentage of students scoring more than 60%, and these are the course outcome mapping that teachers have done previously. So some colleges take any 4, or some colleges take fully. So we have given option over here. If some colleges may take all the questions, and some may take the max 4 only. So we have given option. So over here any 4 and 4. Okay. So after calculating, we have got the average of all COs, and here's the attainment. Okay. So after updating it, it will directly go to database. Same goes with UT2, means IIT2. Same calculations, same. So after calculating, the attainment will be generated and it will directly go out. So the next part is the micro project, which here I have given 10 marks, but teacher can directly manually change it. Okay, so over here the calculation is done and the attainment is 3. Right? And the practical. Okay, so here is the twist that some subjects may have 11 practicals, some subjects may have 22 practicals or 25. That is not fixed number of practicals. So over here, let me demonstrate it. I can say what's that. Okay, so over here we have to just first have to add number of practicals. So I will give 25, and number of 1 practicals may carry how much marks. So I will give 50. Okay. After submitting it, so it will generate out 50 box. And here's the course outcome is not visible because I have not input the data of DevOps lab. Here the teacher has to map the COs with all practicals. And let's go to the flow. Okay. So after mapping the COs with practicals, it will be visible over here, and the teacher has to enter all the practical marks. And after calculating, we will get all the attainments. It will be directly updated. Okay, so the last was the ESC part, means end semester exam. After the inserting all the 80 final exam, teacher has to add the 80 marks, and for practicals for 25 marks, which is external exam. So after that, the attainment is generated. So the main why we are generating this all attainments, because of the final attainment. Okay, so we have also implemented the course exit form survey. Okay, so all the subjects, all 20% students have to attend course exit form. So let me just attend the course exit form. Okay, so over here I will go to fill course exit form and all the subjects that is in my SEM. So in advanced data structure analysis. So this is the course exit form. So I will give the course exit form. I will explain if any suggestion, and the signature, digital signature, because he has to verify that he is only signing this. So after submitting his course exit form, because I have already filled two, this was the last one, third one, so 20% is there. Okay, so we are taking attainments because of this final attainment. Okay, this is the all calculation automated. So after this submitting, this subject code final attainment is generated, and we can he or she can directly visit it from here. Okay, so the next part we are moving in, which is HOD part. HOD and coordinator, because HOD and coordinator he or she has to see what is going on. Okay, every teacher has already filled the marks or not. Okay, so over by just log in his ID. After logging in, there's a part called teacher status. He or she can directly over there 2021, he can select this SEM, and over here, yes, so over here he or she can visible all the that how much progress is there, and he can see the marks also, and he can recheck it that he or she has filled all the marks correctly or not over here, and he can directly take a printed from it. And the main problem of the student, because some after inputting the marks, that students have to see their marks also. So over here in student login, we have given a section view marks. So after filling up the marks, students can see their marks over here. So this was all. Thank you. Any questions? Hello.
Yes, I like the depth of your project.
Sorry?
I like the depth of your project that you have went into, the report generating and everything. The only efforts which will be taken by the teacher is to manually add every marks, right? So have you
actually teacher has to, means he or she has to enter the marks in the Excel sheet or over here. So what the main issue is that because teacher has to manually manage all the things, means he or she has to calculate the data, and after that some miscalculation is there, some there's a mask miscalculation 2 to 3. Okay, so the whole calculation got wrong. Okay,
Yes.
so to just rectify that error now, so I have designed this website.
Is there any feature to upload the Excel sheet?
Yes, ma'am. That only what I was asking forward for.
Sorry?
That
Sorry, can you repeat?
I didn't get your answer. Is there a feature to upload an Excel sheet? Like directly if you upload the Excel sheet, the data gets loaded in your website.
Okay, actually we are also looking into it, and we will integrate that part also.
there are many questions to be asked, but I'll limit myself to few. First of all, is there any role of a class teacher which is provided here? Who can view the subjects of all the classes of same class, all the subjects of same class?
No. HOD can view all the subjects.
Okay, you
but,
can also include class teacher. Second thing, in the UT1, in the test marks you have shown, but there are options that we give for the questions, right? Like question
Yes.
1, any 2 you can solve. So if the marks are, if suppose student has written all the 3 answers, which 2 best of 2 will be taken
Yes.
care of?
Best of two.
It will not be added of all the marks?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I can show you also over here.
Who guided you?
Actually, in my diploma period, so I was in a part of the MBA team. So I was having a knowledge. So teacher previously told me that we need a website to
Okay.
just
Also in the problem statement, you need to mention the name of the criteria.
Okay. Okay, over here you can see that there are 6 question number 1 and sub question of question number 1 and question number 2, and he has attended all the question. So the total is 4, 20, 24 and 28. The total should be 28, but it is showing 20 because it is taking the best of 4 and best of 3.
Okay. Fine.
Any other questions?
Any more questions, James?
No, I guess there are no more questions. Okay. So the project was very interesting, and I guess it's going to be very helpful for the teachers. So next, the project coming up is Student Virtual Assistant. The team can start sharing the presentation.
Yes, okay. Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Anshi.
Start the slideshow.
No, Anshi, you can start with the speech actually.
No, I'm saying can you start the slideshow? Like it's the slide sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, so a very good evening, everyone. This is Anshi Singh, and today my team member Rahul Anandraj and I are presenting this project, which is Student Virtual Assistant. Next. So these are the contents which we are going to cover under this presentation. So without wasting any time, let's just get started. So the problem statement of this project was to integrate a virtual assistant with a face detection and a speech recognition feature that identifies and replies to the user with the information and update them. Next slide. Yeah. So the process model which we have used to make this project was incremental model, and now we are at stage 3. Next slide. Okay, so talking about the flow diagram or the designing part. So we have 2 phases. First one is the registration, and the other one is the project, which is the student virtual assistant phase. So talking about the registration one, so firstly the user have to, or the students have to enter their ID and their name, and our interface will ask to take images. So it will take around 100 to 101 images, and those images will get stored and train the function, and it will generate the YML file. After and to save your profile, the user have to enter the password, and in this way you guys can register. Next. So now talking about the actual interface, that is our project. So after logging in, how you guys gonna log in, our interface will recognize you. If our interface will recognize you, it will redirect you to the student interface, and you can operate that student interface verbally. Okay, so basically our interface searches for the key in your query. So if you say attendance, so there are 4 keys basically: attendance, timetable, faculty details, and submissions. So if you say attendance, so it's gonna display the attendance ka chart, or if your key is not having any key, for example, Bitwell 26 ship, if you say, so there is no key in that, so it will display an error. And once you are done with the thing, you can log out, and it will again redirect you to the login page. Next slide. So the programming language and algorithmic part will be covered by Rahul.
Thank you, Anshi. So in this project, all the frameworks used. So in the first part, since a desktop application, the GUI programming used, we have used Tinker programming, and for the part of face detecting and identification, we have used modules like OpenCV, NumPy, Pandas, and the PIL library. And in the speech recognition part, we have used the Google Speech Recognition API. Now, talking about the methodology or the algorithm used in this application. So first we'll talk about the hierarchical cascade classifier. It's actually a machine learning based object detection algorithm that is used to identify our faces in an image or in a real-time video. So here we are using this frontal face XML file, which will focus this hierarchical cascade algorithm towards extraction of facial information only. And by which the facial recognizer, it also helps in this hierarchical cascade classifier process. Then talking about the YML file, it by definition, it's actually a human readable data that is formatted used for data serialization. Here we, during the registration process, it creates the YML file from all the 100 images that were taken during the registration. And then comes the LBPH recognizer, full form as a local binary pattern histogram. It is actually an efficient texture operator, which it labels the pixels of the image by thresholding, and it considers the results as a binary number. Then the speech recognition. Here we have used the speech recognition by. It works by actually breaking down our input audio and analyzing that each part of the sound, and then transcribing those sound into text. And those texts. So those texts we are using in a query recognizer part, in which we have a set of keywords which will help us to navigate to different parts of the application with the help of audio, with the help of input audio. Then these are the screenshots of the application. This is the login part, and this is what it looks for the faculty part and our student interface, the submission page. And okay, so we would like to conclude by saying that our project, Student Virtual Assistant, can be used in a real-time application for actually successfully recognizing each registered user and updating them with their academic query responses. And this project can be integrated with embedded system for the applications in schools and colleges to save the precious time of the student. These are the references, and thank you. So now I'll just present to the
Judges, any questions?
Actually, we are
Yeah. Mm, okay, so this is our registration page. Here we can write the ID, for example, our XI ID, and my name, Rahul Anandraj. And as per the instruction, it will first take our images as our data set. I'll first okay, actually, because since my camera was on during the meet, so it was not working. I'll just try again. Okay, yeah. So I'll just do it fast. Yeah, so now the application is taking my image, facial image. It will store it as a data set for my login processing. So right now this application is taking around 100 images. Yeah, so now the image has been taken, and now we have to click on save profiles, so upon which it will ask for an admin password. Yeah, profile saved successfully. Okay. Okay, so now here the registration part.
The student virtual assistant interface.
Yeah, I'll just stop presenting.
Here is my.
Yeah, the screen is visible.
So this is our login page. So once I enter, hit the login button, so you guys can see my face and my name under, my name under the box. Doing that. So this is our student virtual assistant interface. So over here we have a mic button. So if I'll say attendance. Yeah, so after saying attendance, it's gonna display my attendance record, and then submission details.
so sorry, it is taking too long. Just a second. Submission. Ma'am, I'm so sorry, it is taking too long. Like, till that time, can we do the question answers thing? Rahul, is it happening for you? Mine is taking too long. Faculty details.
Exactly how many features they have included, like assignments and what else, like whatever you say,
Like
it shows you that data.
yes, ma'am. Like we have for now we have like four features. Like first is the attendance and the faculty details, the submission details, and the timetable for timetables of the lecture.
Okay, what else can you plan in this? I mean, what more features you can add to this?
Basically, planning for the automated responses. So, for like basically, this was only for the academic queries only. So, faculty details, or if there is some holiday notice and all, so we can forward.
You can also show for your IIT marks and all, no?
Yes. And actually, the thing is, the submission details and all were there, but right now my this interface is not working.
Submission.
Okay, fine.
Now yours is working.
Yes, yes, mine is working. I'll just present it.
Till that time, Tina ma'am and Abhishek.
No, nothing from my side.
Yeah, so this is how the submission page looks like. We can view each submission details like this. And from here also I can show the faculty detail, the page. This is how the faculty detail page looks like, and these all are actually the images of the computer department only. And if you click here, so we'll get small information about it. Like for every faculty, we are showing details in this page. And yeah, a timetable.
Will it show specifically number of papers published by particular faculty and the list?
No, we have not actually added this information into it. We have just add some basic information like for the students to know who they are, like as a faculty member.
Okay.
As a
Otherwise,
they are subject.
it should just click on that information and it should provide that how many papers are published by a particular faculty
Yes.
and the list. That feature you can add.
Yeah, ma'am. Sure.
So I like the concept of like.
Thank you.
Yeah. The thing is that you just need to make the one process perfectly, like the questionnaire, right, of the mic and everything. If you just make that correctly and optimize it through the backend to Python and everything, then you can.
We have done for that also as a backup. Like for example, since Anshi was facing the mic issues, and it is editable, so we have done here the start menu, this feature also. So yeah, by clicking.
Yeah, that's what I was looking forward for, because there are various issues and everything happens usually, so I can do this. Yes, and what was you did the face recognition, right? So
yes.
what it was exactly for?
As in,
It was just like a login form where you just have to show your face. Like it just captures of that.
Okay, it's for verification, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on the basis of that only, we are even planning to, assessing attendance and all. We
Yeah,
are working on that also.
because this platform has endless users. You can use it for admin purpose also. You can use it for admission purpose also. You can provide teacher
working on
faculty.
that.
Yeah.
So you just need to optimize that one process of questionnaire and everything, and then you can add any of the metrics and topics which you want to add. So the
Yeah.
topic is good. That's it.
So I guess that concludes y'all. That was a fun little project. So let's move on to the other one, which is gonna be here pretty soon, which is telescopic extension ladder and project ANRDM. Y'all can come up and begin with the presentation, please.
Rahul, you can stop presenting.
Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. A very good evening to our esteemed panel and my worthy participants. We Cadet Ashutosh Chaudhary, Cadet Ashutosh Kumar, Cadet Abhinav Tripathi, and Cadet Atul De Verma, BTech cadets from Marine Engineering and Research Institute, Mumbai, are here to present our project of amalgamation of telescopic extension ladder and project ANARDM. For our presentation, we have set up our agenda in the following manner. We would be giving some insights of marine pilots. We would be briefly discussing both of our proposals and conclude our views. So without any further ado, let's move ahead. Now, marine pilotage has a century-old history, and this very day, we, in this forum, would like to take the opportunity to bring the unsung navigators into limelight. Acknowledging their crucial contribution to our maritime fraternity, we have come up with our bid to make their operations safer. Now, first of all, for everyone's convenience, a marine pilot is an individual who navigates a vessel in congested waterways, mainly port areas. The process of embarkation and disembarkation on the vessel is the riskiest operation overall. As you all can see in this picture, the conventional system of the operation. Coming up with our maximum safety equation, we present our first proposal of incorporating telescopic extension ladder, TEL, instead of conventional pilot ladder. Our proposal of telescopic extension ladder is moderately economic, has faster implementation time, is feasible in practical conditions, and there is no requirement of highly skilled labor in this process. Now coming to the working mechanism, the moving section of the telescopic extension ladder and safety platform together will be sliding over the base section, which would be fixed to the side of the vessel. The magnitude of slide will be controlled by a motor pulley mechanism situated at the deck. As the demonstration explains in this video, the automation system would considerably reduce risk during heavy swell of the vessel, and the safety platform gives more surface area for the individual to embark or disembark the vessel. Next comes the concern of safe rigging, for which we have come up with dual safety harness system, which will leave no struck with the safety of marine pilots in such dynamic situation. From the diagram, it is pretty clear that the crew member would be rigged with dual safety ropes, both secured at the deck and on the ladder, with the harness jacket worn by the crew member. The use of double carabiners and dual rope mechanism ensures high standard and priority for safe embarkation and disembarkation. Now, according to our extensive research, we have also come up with the estimated expenditure to sustain our maximum safety equations as shown on the screen. Now, in this era of technological advancements, how can we stay limited to just one solution for such a serious issue? Therefore, with the spark of Industry 4.0, we have come up with our flagship proposal named as Project ANARDM, Advanced Navigation via Augmented Reality and Drone Mechanism. Project ANARDM sails over the measures of artificial intelligence and augmented reality. Strategic planning and execution will make it more feasible. It is fairly cost-incurring due to the technologies involved, and skilled workforce is essential for this process. We have divided the project into two phases. The phase 1 of Project ANARDM aims at compiling three-dimensional digital maps bundled with necessary informations for a particular port. These digital maps would be shared with the approaching vessel captain for his or her prerequisite information. Now coming to the phase 2 of the project, we propose to set up a port traffic control tower which would accommodate experienced and skilled marine pilots, and with the help of satellite communication and drone deployment, they would remotely guide the approaching vessel towards its desired berth. During our extensive research, we have come across certain shortcomings as well. Whenever we talk about machine dependency, reliability becomes a factor. But if we have to advance with Industry 4.0, then these measures need to be involved. Now, Port of Rotterdam is the best example for this scenario, as it is a fully autonomous port. As far as implementation is concerned, great things take time. And unless we start to incorporate newer technologies, we would not be advancing with time. In recent times, we have seen that in spite of physical presence of pilots on board, severe accidents have taken place. Therefore, remotely operating the vessel would give a broader perspective of the entire approach. If we all remember the blockage of Suez Canal, then in spite of having physical presence of pilot on board with the vessel captain, such magnitude of accidents can take place. Now, looking at the advantages of our project, then the physical presence of the pilot is no longer needed, as he or she can remotely conduct the navigation with high precision. Wisely incorporated, the Industry 4.0 can tremendously boost the scenario in many cases to tie up the loose ends. The concerns of rough weather conditions near the port are resolved as the PTCT, the Port Traffic Control Tower, can guide the vessel with no risk of direct involvement of the pilot on board, keeping aside the high expenses in modes such as helicopter embarkation. Manifesting a panoramic view in mind for the long-term approach can immensely revolutionize the cause. The feature of digital mapping would help the approaching vessel master in acclimatizing with the unfamiliar port in terms of topography and weather conditions. Therefore, we are certain that we would have touched upon all the other aspects for a better understanding, but we also have to respect the time constraint given to us. Our proposals can achieve greater heights if pursued for industry standard research and development. We firmly believe that our proposals come with a wide array of explorable possibilities to give marine pilotage a new horizon and provide safer and efficient environment for their work procedure. Hereby, we sign off, thanking you all for lending your ears, and have a wonderful day ahead. We are now open for any kind of questions.
So this movement of ladder, it will be automatic, right?
Ma'am, actually, the winch reel system or the motor pulley system will be fixed on the deck of the vessel. And whenever there is a situation of the operation of pilot or any crew embarkation or disembarkation, it can be operated manually.
Okay.
I would also like to add upon this that we have also presented this research and this project to All India Maritime Pilot Association, that is AIMPA, and I'm happy to announce that they had organized a competition on the basis of to mitigate the risks involved in this process. And this paper was selected in the top 10 research papers across pan India, and had won the best paper in the Industry 4.0 category as well. If you all want, I can put the drive link of the detailed paper in the chat box.
That is great. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So they are going to work on this, right?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. They have taken the initiative to mitigate the risk, because in various situations and various areas, we have seen that pilots or the crew members who go on board the ships, on board vessels, they have faced serious fatal accidents as well. Because in sea, it is a dynamic situation every other time. Whereas developed countries like Australia, they have completely removed the system of pilot ladder, the conventional one. They are only using the helicopter embarkation and disembarkation, which is not feasible for each and every country on this planet.
Right. Okay.
So first of all, congratulations for your achievement.
Thank you so much.
I liked your idea. It was quite awakening one. It was quite in the right direction also. I got a point over there that where you told that the ship would be automatically handled, right, remotely?
Yes.
Yes. So would it be only near the ports, or it would be throughout the journey?
Actually, sir, throughout the journey, there is no need of a pilot on board because the vessel master and the navigation team is there to navigate the vessel through the desired route. But once the vessel or any particular ship enters the port region, because the captain is obviously not acclimatized with the topography of that particular port, so he or she needs the assistance of a pilot, who is very much familiar with the entire topography of that particular port. So we want the experienced pilots for that particular port to be together at the port traffic control tower, and they would be getting live demonstration, live view from the drone deployment, and they can remotely guide the vessel from the tower. It is basically very much similar to the what we have like ATC, the air traffic control tower, what we have.
Yes.
It is very much similar to that. We want to apply that concept in the maritime fraternity to just change and mitigate the risks involved.
Oh, that's great.
Is there any further questions?
I guess there aren't any more questions. Well, that was an amazing project, and congratulations on your achievement, guys. So next we have automated braking system. The team can start presenting.
Hello everyone, my name is Tanmay Gokarna and our topic is automated braking system. My partner is Suresh Manjrekar in this project. Next slide please. Next slide. Okay. So the basic introduction for this system is it's an automated braking system which will be an integral part in the coming near future, because as the cars are going electric, more and more facilities are like asked for and demanded by the consumers, and it is an advanced system specifically designed to either prevent possible collisions with other obstacles like cars and stuff, or reduce speed of the moving vehicle prior to a collision with another vehicle, pedestrian, or a pothole or some kind of an obstacle. The problem statement is, so this is the pie chart of the total accidents in a particular city. So from the year 2009 to 2016, nearly 20,000 road accidents has occurred, which has resulted in 18,510 lives to be lost. Next slide, please. So we are using components like Arduino Nano, a 10K potentiometer to mimic the speed of a vehicle for this particular application, and LED to show the output that the brake is being applied, connecting wires, an ultrasonic sensor to detect the obstacle, and a resistor for the LED. Next slide, please. So the working principle of our project is like using the ultrasonic sensor, we can sense the obstacle, and then we are calculating the safe distance to be measured, and if the obstacle is less than the safe distance, the flag is raised and the brakes are applied in a safe and controlled manner. So this is the circuit diagram of our project. Next slide. So now my friend Sudesh will continue from here.
So, hello everyone. My name is Sudesh Manzarekar, and I'll be explaining the technologies used for this project. So, for the electronic part, which you just saw, we have used Arduino Nano, which is programmed using the C++ programming language. And then we have used Python and the modules like system, OS, serial, time, and PyQt as the building blocks for the GUI. The specifications of the system are as follows. The microcontroller we have used here is Arduino Nano, and the sensor used is HCSR04, of which the range is 2 centimeter to 400 centimeter, and it outputs the signal from 0 to 5 volts. So the results and discussion for this project are that we have achieved 94% success from our continuous trial tests, and the accuracy can be increased by using multiple sensors. The future scope for this project can be said as we can be we can make this system capable of driving at all environmental conditions. We can also minimize the backward collisions, obstacle detection while turning, and integrating multiple sensors, which would give us a long range of data. And you know what comes after data? Machine learning. And hence we can also use machine learning with the data we have collected from not just one, not just two, but from n number of cars that can have these sensors. And hence we can have a long data set of which we can use the data using machine learning algorithms and then build a similar approach.
Please show them the working model, Sudesh.
Yes. So, as you can see, this is our entire project. And as you can see, this is the HCSR04, which is the main part that is used for our distance detection. Along with this, we have our small breadboard on which, as you can see, there is Arduino Nano here, which is the basic part that controls and thinks about everything. This is the potentiometer which we have used to mimic the speed which is of the car. And also there is one LED here, as you can see, which is used to send PWM signals. So I will just connect this and show you the output.
Which ML algorithms you have used?
Yes, ma'am.
You said you have used machine learning algorithms, right?
No, we can use it for future scope of our project.
So basically, we can add a 1 minute to this. I'll explain the future scope. So basically, we can add a memory module which will store the data from this particular car. Then further, if you implement this into more and more cars, so basically, what is Tesla makes electronic cars, but Tesla will be, after a decade, Tesla will be the pioneer in autopilot because they have thousands of cars roaming the streets and they collect numerous data points from all the streets. So they have a more defined maps of all the roads. So basically, if we integrate more sensors into the car, we can have that data, and we can also build on autopilot. So this is just the stage zero, if you can say that, stage zero of our project. Integrating more and more sensors and a memory module, we can collect data. So now we will show you the GUI of the project. So just go on.
So this is the GUI of our project. As you can see one analog meter here. So this is the speedometer, which you can see in any car. Also, you can see there is one LED here which says safe, which means the car is now in a safe condition and the brake status here is low. So whenever there is some kind of an obstacle, you can see the brake status goes on increasing, the alert is reached, and the car's speedometer decreases. As you can see, the speedometer goes on decreasing until there is no obstacle. And also you may think, why is it going in steps? So because if we press the brakes exactly at the same point without even pulsing, then the car will stop at a faster rate. The deceleration will be high, and you can say they can get fatigued. That's why we have used this system wherein the speed decreases gradually, and when the system is safe, it goes up sequentially. So as you can see now.
Also, adding to what he said, we have also integrated ABS, which we find in the modern cars today, which is anti-lock braking system. So basically, if the sensor detects and just presses on the brake, the tires may get locked, and which will result in more disastrous accidents. So what we have done is the PWM signal is outputted from the Arduino, which increases exponentially. So first, initial the brakes are applied at a low, if you can say that, at a low setting, then it increases exponentially, and as the car decelerates more and more, the speed is controlled. The car is by control and in a controlled manner decelerated and prevents any accident.
So as you can see here, this is the LED. I will just pin my screen. So as you can see, here is the LED. So if I bring something in front of it, it gradually grows, which is PWM signal.
So basically what is happening, like, the brakes are not applied instantly. Also, if you are on a road and the car brakes immediately and you are behind the car, so you decelerate along with the car, and when the car in front of you achieves a normal cruising speed, you don't just halt and on the spot. So if you are on a highway and the flag, if the obstacle is detected, if it's like a car who is decelerating or is cutting you in middle. So for old age people, the reflex timings are less. So this will assist them in maneuvering safely. And we are open to questions now. All the judges.
Any questions, judges?
No.
So guys, just one question: when the brakes are applied, are they applied, completely? It will bring the car to a halt, to zero, or would it just control the speed and let it go again?
So we have included equation. So there's a safe distance we are defining from the equations we got online. So it checks the distance constantly. So if this is a car and this is the car which is cutting you, so this car goes like this and it halts in the center. So you halt and decelerate with the car. And if the car achieves the cruising speed, like, it again goes further and the distance is increased, the equation checks it and it doesn't halt your car on the spot on the road completely. It just gives you the control manually, and you can just cruise again.
Okay.
So if you see the GUI, the status LED, before it reaches full, like before it completely halts the car, if the obstacle is removed, it just halts midway and the brakes are like unapplied. So you can continue cruising on your road.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Okay, so I guess there are no questions from any judges. So that was a fun little project, guys. Keep it up. Keep working on it. So the final presentation we have here is Normandy landing. Let's go, guys. Show what I got.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you're audible, visible.
Yes,
Am I
guys.
audible and visible?
All the four of you are visible and audible.
Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, I'll start presenting screen. Full closure though, like after seeing all the amazing projects, like ours is a bit lighthearted. So with that in mind, I'm giving over to Glenn for the introduction.
Okay, so
everyone,
good evening to the panel and all present here. Myself, Glenn, along with Brian, Moses, and Marisa, and our topic is Normandy landing. So let's begin. Yeah. So the gaming industry is no longer a niche arena for a certain age group or consumer segment. With the advent of mobile gamings and improvements to hardware used in playing these games, gaming has become a viable form of entertainment for players from all backgrounds and ages. A game is a form of play with goals and structure, which helps the gamer in rapid thinking, logical reasoning, and reflexive skills. Our game, Normandy Landing, is based on the concept of endless runner. It helps develop concentration, focus, and improves reflexive skills in individuals. Normandy Landing pays homage to the World War II soldiers martyred during the war in France. So, endless running or infinite running games are platforms in which the player is continuously moving forward through procedurally generated code. Controls are limited to making the character jump, attack, or perform special actions. In this game, we will control the character running from the left half of the screen to the right. The character does not die unless he hits an obstacle. Now, some of the iconic endless games are Temple Run, Doodle Jump, and Flappy Bird, all of them recording a download number of at least 10 million.
Be it kids or adults, everyone plays computer games. Over the years, these games have become highly sophisticated. They feature graphics that make the player as if they are living the game. The new generation's games require modern graphic cards, processors, and often require large amounts of bandwidth. Amongst these sophisticated games, a black and white 2D game stands out and doesn't even need the internet connection. Still played 270 million times a month. The Chrome's Dinosaur Game, a simple infinite runner game that features a lonely T-Rex, somehow who got trapped in the desert. The T-Rex runs and has to avoid obstacles like cacti, pterodactyls, with the game speeding up as users further progress. The most amazing fact is that even with 270 million players, no one has ever beaten the game. It's not likely to happen anytime soon either.
All right, so let's look at the history. Normandy Landing tells a tale of a brave soldier, drawing inspiration from the landing operations and the associated airborne operations on the 6th of June 1944 of the Allied invasion of Normandy during World War II. D-Day was the largest seaborne invasion in history. The operation laid the foundation for the Allied victory on the Western Front.
During gameplay, a running soldier moves from left to right across a war-torn landscape
and the player avoids oncoming obstacles by jumping or ducking, including barbed wires and military gliders. Pressing space or arrow up will jump and arrow down will duck. As gameplay progresses, the speed of play increases until the soldier hits an obstacle, prompting an instant game over. As the player progresses every 100 points, your score total will flash. When the player reaches 500 points, the military gliders will come into play. So let's look at the limitations of the existing system. So Chrome offline page T-Rex game misses on few important features that keep the gamers engaged and interested, such as music. So music is a tool that can control emotions and can establish the tone of the story being told. So we added music to create an atmosphere to captivate the players. Then the next is monotonous screen animation. One of the most important aspects of a successful video game is the environment. So the background is what sets the stage for the player. The Chrome T-Rex game has the same black and white desert background moving for the entire game. So we implemented the parallax background. So you might wonder, what is parallax background? So parallax scrolling background is a technique in computer graphics where background images move past the foreground images, creating an illusion of depth in 2D scene of distance. Then menu system. So T-Rex doesn't have a main menu. The first thing a player sees in any game is a main menu. The face of a game is what gives the opportunity to the player to feel the atmosphere of a game from the very first seconds. So we made a main menu.
Right, so I'm going to talk about the character here more. So Normandy Landing throws you in the shoes of a regular marine that is drafted on D-Day to storm the shores of Normandy and claim land for your unit. Leading the charge, you jump over wooden stakes, metal tripods, barbed wire, while avoiding enemy gunfire and the Germans flying over your head. So here we have the protagonist standing with a rifle. We have the protagonist running, jumping, and sliding. And you can see the obstacles at the bottom. There's like the barbed wire fences and like the planes and stuff.
The most important part of our project was the parallax background. So parallax background, as Reza said, it is nothing much where you have multiple images moving at different times. So for this, we implemented a image that was put on the screen, blitted to the screen, and it was on the right side of the screen. So it moves from the right to left. So for that, we just made the negative of that image width from the x-axis. And we put the same thing 3 times, just with a different game speed to give the parallax effect.
Now let's take a look at some of the uses. So studies show that playing video games can change how our brains perform and even their structure. For example, like playing video games affects our attention, and some studies found that gamers show improvements in several types of attention, such as sustained attention or selective attention. Education has also been changed by video games through the use of new technologies that help teachers and students communicate in new ways through educational games such as Brain Age. Games helped establish companionship and team spirit among the masses as well. Psychological effectiveness. Games help to promote relaxation and help to ward off anxiety. Video games are effective tools for learning resilience in the face of failure. They help build confidence and also help in brain simulations. Games are helpful in developing imaginative skills among people.
The flowchart. So first, the user will have an interactive menu from where the user can start the game. After the game is started, the character that is a soldier will be generated. The next important part of the game is the obstacles. They will be generated on the right side and will move from right to left. Now, in order to avoid the obstacles, the user needs few keys to jump and duck. So when that button is pressed, it will carry out the task which it's supposed to do. This will happen till the user hits an obstacle, and after hitting an obstacle, the game will terminate and will show game over along with the score of the user.
All right, so I'm going to show you the code now. One sec. Yeah, you can see the code, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is basically all the code of Normandy Landing. It's about like 500 lines. So yeah, I'll start explaining it little by little. This is the part where like we import all the assets, and this is the part that controls all the animations. So we have different animations. The animations are actually like made in-house. So we have made animations for standing, running, jumping, basically there's falling, and then there's sliding as well. So yeah, those are how we made the animations. Then the animations are imported in with Pygame. We basically use Pygame for this. So it uses all Pygame's default functions in Python. So you have all the class definitions: class cloud, class soldier. You have def duck, def run. This controls all the running and running animations and stuff. You have the obstacles, which like controls the entity particle physics. Like when you run into a particle or like an obstacle, the game ends. So this basically controls that. Def main is the main body of the game. It stores all the background and the parallax background, like the parallax scrolling. There's also run, and then there's like music here. We import mixer from Pygame for the music, and we import a few tracks. This function basically shuffles the music, so you get a new track every time you play. And yeah, these are all the different custom death messages you can get after playing. And yeah, that's basically it. It's better if I show you a working demonstration. So yeah. And yeah, this is the main menu for Normandy Landing. You have the option for play and the option for credits. Credits basically just shows who did what. So I'm just going to play. This is the buffer to start. And yeah. Is it choppy? And
Yeah, I think it's because of the meat.
Yes, slightly.
Okay, the bitrate really screws up the FPS. So it's really smooth on my PC, but it's like choppy on the meat. So I think I'll just show you a video of the output. Okay, so I have a video open. Is this less choppy? Or is it the same?
Still the
It's
same.
the
I think
same,
it's
I
the meat
guess.
issue. So.
It's the meat issue, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try switching this thing windows.
Also, we have implemented an installer so you can download the game on any PC and play as you wish.
Is it better now?
That's still choppy. That's
Still
the meat, I
choppy.
think. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it's fine then. So the parallax background is implemented like the images in the back move slower than the image in the front. So it gives an illusion of death basically. Then you have like missiles and there's planes flying over. You have to dodge the missiles. And the game speed gets faster and faster the more you play. So it's basically an endless runner. So yeah, and you have music. You can't hear it really. So you'll have to play the game for the music, I guess. And yeah, that's it. This is Normandy Landing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judges, any questions?
No from my side.
So playing games for so many years, being part of this community, it feels great to that you are taking this initiative. I know there are many games related to this stuff, but I see the hard work which you have put into the animations and stuff, the characters which you have created. It shows the dedications of yours. So it was quite good. Send me the link. I would also like to just relive the memories of the last few games. Because right now we don't see this arcade games, right? Right now we just have the FPS and everything, rolling out here and there. So it would be a good, going down the memory lane, playing these games. And yeah, I guess everyone in the meet and everyone, throughout the ones which you will meet also, they would at least give this game once a try and, relive the memories. So it was a great initiative. For starters, this game is, great. You can go in more depth and you can create a whole, a catalog of arcade games and everything. You can create a sandbox also if someone needs it. So you can play it on various platforms and everything. So great minds.
Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot.
so much.
Means a
Thank
lot.
you.
So much.
Means a lot, yeah.
We'll try to send the link later, but yeah, thank you.
All right, so that concludes our event for today. So we finally are at the end of this amazing event. So Anisha.
Yeah, so it is sad to say that we are at the end right now. Each and every project was so impressive, And so to render the vote of thanks, I would like to call upon our admin, Gautam Gupta.
So hello everyone. First off, I'd straight away like to thank the judges for coming and judging the participants and showing their strength and weaknesses for each and every project. Also, thanks for coming on such a short notice. So give it up for them. Thank you, ma'am and Abhishek Sharma. And moving on, thanks to all the participants for participating today. All of you done really well and lovely projects, and most of you are my batchmates as well. So that really inspires us as a being in the same year and stuff like that. So thanks for that, guys, and also thanks to Joshua and Anisha for hosting this event today. So you guys done a really well job. And I'd like to also thank my admins as well. Yes, Shetur and Shubham Bhattar. Thanks, you guys are the real one. Thanks for helping me out for this event.
Thank you for inviting. And I would say that all the projects which students have participated, really, they had great ideas. This generation has great ideas. So go ahead with it and don't think about who is the winner, who is not. You are really doing something great, something different. Okay, go ahead and make this project work and keep participating. All the best to all of you.
Thank you everyone for inviting. And seriously, the projects were really very nice, and we are looking forward to such events. Thank you.
So first of all, a big kudos to all the management teams, the anchors, the team behind it, working hard to make such great events. Looking forward for many events from your side throughout the year. And the projects was quite good, and some were nurtured and some were not nurtured. That doesn't mean the non-nurtured one cannot be nurtured. So there is a scope for everyone. You just need to go in depth, take the suggestions from everyone, take your own decision, and make your project fair enough. And most of the projects which I saw today were like they were targeted to a specific problem and had a solution in it. So all were like market ready and market specific project. So I would look forward to use those projects in our day-to-day life and be a proud ex-alumni of the college.
Thank you so much to all of our judges.
So I guess that's about it. That's the end of the event. Everyone, once again, thanks for joining in, and the results will be declared tomorrow on the WhatsApp group. So once all the calculations are done, we'll declare the winners tomorrow. All right then. So I guess I'll end this meeting. Thanks.
Judges, please send the score sheet to the admins. Those who had sent it to you.
For sure.
Thank you, judges.
Thank you, judges.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, everyone.